Hello everyone, welcome back to the Skies Review Desk. So today we're going to talk about the XTZ Edge A2-300. The Edge is a stereo Class D amplifiers and is powered by the ICE power modules. They goes for 150 watts per channel into 8 ohms and 300 watt per channel for 4 ohms. For those who are interested on the full spec for the Edge, I'll put a link down below under the descriptions so you guys can go check it out. So on today's videos is mainly compare it to the Crown 1502 amplifiers since they are about in the same price range, and also when I was trying to purchase a Class D amplifier for testing for reviews, I did have both of them in the same time before, and to see which one I like better. So first, I'll talk about the sound. The Edge and the Crown, they are both Class D amplifiers, and most of the sound signatures, they're identical to each other's because they're both Class D. And I would say the most noticeable difference between these two amplifiers is the Edge doesn't have the harshness that the Crown has. The Crown is more neutral soundings, but to me it's kind of like a neutral in a harsh way. It kind of makes sense to me, but why? Because some of you might already know Crown is a PA amplifiers, so when they design it, it isn't really designed for like a hi-fi use or in-home use. If you've been to those of the live concert or music festival like EDC, Crown designed to power those kind of huge speakers that's in those kind of environments. I know that Crown also do have other product line. Some of them could be used for home theater. In my opinion, thinking like the Crown, their aiming is different than the Edge, because what Crown is kind of aiming is sending those signal, receiving the signal from whatever the source is, and then just amplify it as untouched as possible. Some people would say most amplifiers they're supposed to do that, right? But in hi-fi companies, and they tend to kind of tweak the sound a little bit. Yes, they want them come out as neutral as possible, but at the meantime, some of the amplifiers do tune the sound a little bit. Even they claim it's like a neutral way of sound. It's just different. The way that they define neutral is different, I think. On the Edge, they more aim for home use, hi-fi use. Of course, their sounds has to be different. First, they are different companies, right? And second, they're aiming for different use. To me, on the Edge, it sounds a bit more soft, less harsh, and in my opinion, more musical in a relaxed way. And also, on the Edge, they do claim they have more lower noise levels. And I agree with that because I seems can listen a bit more detail on the Edge compared to the Crown. Other than that, the sound signature, they're about the same since they all using the Class D modules. And another important reason is usability. On the Edge, it offers a standby mode and the auto ons, to me it makes a night and day difference, because with that functions it's really convenient. As my regular everyday setup, I use the Denon AV receiver, pre-out that to the Edge. So, and I have everything plugged into the AV receivers, like, you know, my Apple TVs. So if I just kind of use the remote to turn on the Apple TV or my TV, everything will be automatically on. But when I connect those to the crown, I will need to go and power it on and off every time, because the crown doesn't offer like a remote or anything like that. And it also doesn't have the standby mode or auto on feature that Edge has. So to me, the crown is a lot less convenient, because when every time you turn on your system or TV, you have to go to where you put the crown, you have to push the button to turn it on. And whenever you shut down your system, you have to go back there to shut it off too. I mean, if crown come with a remote, that will be a different story in usability wise, okay? So since both the Edge and the crown didn't come with a remote, the Edge is hands down more user friendly, and it will be more suited to people that use it every day, in my opinion. Because if you live with somebody else and the other person was just trying to turn on the TV and to listen or to use it, beside that, also the look of it and also their build quality, in those two categories, in my, you know, these are subjective, in my opinion, the Edge just looks way better than the crown. And for the power that little thing that can output, I would say is pretty amazing. I mean, for the build quality, it looks better and everything's on the Edge, I think. And for both of crown and Edge, they both can support international voltage, so it pretty much can be used in every countries. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Edge. I mean, for $500, I would say it's a pretty good entry-level amplifiers. And on the YouTube community, some people also say these could compare some amplifiers at the $1,000 price range. I haven't compared it yet, but for the sound, everything wise, to me it's pretty good for $500. And at the end, there's one more thing that I want to remind you guys. It's more like a tips. If you also own the Edge or you plan on getting it in the futures, because I don't see other YouTubers or other people to do reviews has mentioned it. So yeah, and my review, I just want to point that out so you guys will know more about the Edge. It's about their adjustable gain control in the back. Remember to turn the adjustable gain control to max if you are using the Edge connecting to the to AV receiver like I did. And I kind of assume that it's not just apply on the AV receiver, it's pretty much on anything that you connecting the Edge to. I mean, on the XTZ website, they have a part, if you click on the support, it said that the Edge will perform the same even with lower gain control adjustment. So because I wasn't sure, so I contacted XTZ for asking their opinions, what would be the best settings or the recommend settings on the adjustable gain. And here is their reply on the email. For maximum dynamic range, you need the highest possible gain without audio noise from the preamp or signal source. Start with max. If there is any noise from the other equipment, quote, noise floor, turn down the gain a bit to lower it. Humming sound from a ground loop would not be possible to remove by turning down the gain. You can also use the gain to set a maximum SPL levels for your sound system. So in my case, I don't really hear any noise when I turn the gain all the way to the max. Before I asked them about their opinions, I had the Edge gain control at about 60%, which matches the same volume level of my other speaker that's connecting to the AV receivers. After I change the settings, I do hear a noticeable difference in dynamic and better sound. So strictly, I'll just recommend people just if you could, just turn the adjustable gain all the way to the max, unless you hear noise from it. I think nowadays most of the equipment is pretty well built. It should be good to just turn the gain all the way to the max. Again, XTZ didn't pay me anything to say good thing about the Edge. And I just kind of think that the Edge is a really good amplifier for $500. So if you're in the market for amplifier around $500 and you like Class D sound, give them a shot. I will have their website under my description. So if you guys want to buy it, you can just go under the website to purchase it. I guess that will be it for the Edge. Until then, see you guys next time. Stay safe. Bye.